Goeiemôre graad 11. Ons is terug by funksies. Ons gaan konsentreer op die kwadratiese funksie, die parabool. Maar voordat ons dit doen, kom ons kyk weer na die standaard vergelykings van al die funksies in graad 11. Goed, ons het die standaard vergelyking van die reguit lyn. Y is gelyk aan AX plus Q. Goed. A is die gradiënt en die Q skuif vir hom op of af. Then we've got the parabola. The standard equation in grade 11 will be y equals a x minus p square plus q. Die a-waarde, druk die bene nader aan mekaar of het verslap. The p value shifts it to the left or to the right, and the q value shifts it up or down. Dan het ons hyperbool. Y is gelyk aan A op X minus P plus Q. The A again tends to make the hyperbola more steep. The P value shifts it to the left or the right. The Q value shifts it up or down. En dan ons laaste funksie is ons eksponensiële funksie en sy standaard vergelyking is A, B, X min P plus Q. The A value, the same as all the others. The B value got certain restrictions, but we'll get to that. Die P skuif hom links en regs en die Q-waarde skuif hom op of af. So kom ons gaan konsentreer nou op ons kwadratiese funksie, the parabola. So we know that the A value determines whether it's a smiley face, a sad face. And it also determines whether it's wide, that the arms are wide apart or close to each other. That's the function of the A value. The P value, if you take the X minus P and you equal it to 0, this equation gives you the symmetrical X, die symmetriese as. Symmetriese as. Met ander woorde, daai P-waarde is altyd jou symmetriese as, en wanneer jou P-waarde plus is, then it shifts to the left, and when it's a negative P, it shifts to the right. So that means P is greater than 0, P is smaller than 0. Same. Okay, the domain, all the X values will always be the real number system, that's learning work, and the Y value will be always from the value Q up to infinity. That's always going to be your Y value, your range, jou waardeversameling. So, wanneer ons 'n parabool het wat so lyk, konkaaf na bo, of 'n smiley face, dan praat ons van 'n minimumwaarde. When we've got a parabola that's downwards concave of convex, dan praat ons van 'n maksimum daar waar hy draai. That's also very important info. So let's start with an example, and we're going to start with, let's use function notation. Kom ons begin met fx is gelyk aan minus 2 x plus 1 kwadraat plus 8. So if you look at this function, you can say a lot of things already by just looking at your parameters. Let's look at a. We can say that because it's a negative a, we know it's going to be a sad face. Okay? It's the value 2, so die bene van hierdie parabool gaan nader aan mekaar wees as wanneer dit 1 is. Okay? Then this moved 1 unit to the left. 1 unit to the left. 1 unit left. And 8 units upwards. 8 units upwards. Okay, that you can say from the whole scenario. So now, the first question is, go and draw this a parabola. So we first usually get in Cartesian plane, anders teken ons Cartesiese vlak, en ons kan eers gaan en ons kan gaan sê, okay, we've got now our symmetrical axis. Our symmetrical axis is going to be x plus 1 equals 0 and therefore x equals minus 1. So let's draw in our symmetrical axis. That's x equals minus 1. Okay. We know that our turning point in this regard, our turning point is going to be ons draaipunt gaan wees op die symmetriese as. So ons draaipunt as hierdie ouetjie 0 is, gaan wees as my x waarde gelyk is aan -1 en my y waarde gelyk is aan 8. You can read it from there. When it's in that format, our parabola, we can read the turning point from there. Okay, we've got the turning point, we've got minus 1, 8. So this guy is a sad face, and that means it's plus 8. Minus 1 plus 8, not minus 8, sorry. It's minus 8, it's plus 8 over there. Minus 1 plus 8. That's our turning point. Okay, so now we know it's a sad face. So if the parabola is a sad face, it means it's going to have 2 x-intercepts and 1 y-intercept. So kom ons werk gou uit ons y-afsnit. Wanneer ons y-afsnit uitwerk, our y-intercept, we're going to make x 0. So y equals minus 2, 0 plus 1 square plus 8. So that's going to be minus 2 times 1 plus 8. En dit geef my 6. So my y-afsnit is die waarde 0, 6. Hoe kry ek my x-afsnitte? Deur y nou weer 0 te maak. X-afsnitte. Let's make y 0. So we've got minus 2 x plus 1 square plus 8. So now, let's take the minus 8 to the other side of the equals 2. Nou kan ons met minus 2 gaan deel aan albei kante. If you divide with minus 2, you get 4 there. So now you can get the square root on both sides. So ons het x plus 1 is gelyk aan plus of minus 2. Onthou, as jy die vierkants wortel kry aan albei kante, dan is dit plus min, want x gaan 2 waardes moet hê. So if you take the minus 1 to the other side, x equals minus 3, or x equals plus 1. So nou kan ons gaan kyk hierso. Makes totally sense. This is going to be minus 3, 0 en hierdie gaan wees 1, 0. And with this info, this is enough info to draw this parabola very, very thoroughly. So kom ons antwoord nog 'n vraag. Dit is genoeg, jou naam is op jou funksie. You've got your turning point that you read from this equation, very easy, just remember that becomes a minus 1. So ons het ons x-afsnitte, ons y-afsnit en ons draaipunt more than enough at the equation of our symmetrical axis. The next question that they ask is give the equation of the symmetrical axis. I've already written it there. Wanneer ek hierdie sien, skryf ek sommer dadelik my simmetriese as vergelyking neer en dan weet ek sommer wat is die x-waarde van my draaipunt. Volgende vraag. Write down the domain. The domain, we said, for a parabola is always x element of R. And the last question, write down the range. My waardeversameling is altyd y, kie tot oneindig. That is now if it's a smiley face. If it's a sad face, this is for a smiley face. If it's a sad face, it's going to be the other way around. It's from minus infinity up to q square bracket. So, kom ons kyk. My y-waardes is van minus oneindig tot by my q-waarde 8. So my y-waarde, the range, will be from minus infinity up to 8 square bracket because it stops over there, the turning point. Good. You can always also use our builder set notation where you write greater than or smaller or equals to 8, but then you must insert y element of the real number system next to that. Okay, that was our first parabola with all the parameters. Let's quickly see if we can do another one. Grade 11, if you know you're learning work on functions, then functions is very, very easy. Ken jy leer dat baie goed en dan is funksies regtig verskriklik maklik. Goed, kom ons kyk na 'n nuwe funksie, sy naam is gx. So gx is gelyk aan x minus 1 kwadraat plus 2. So now I know my learning work, so I know this is a smiley face because a is equal to 1. So we know it's a smiley face parabola. We can write down the turning point, ons draaipunt, kan ons dadelik gaan afskryf van daai formule af, soos wat hy daar gegee is. Dit gaan wees plus 1 en 2. Ons simmetriese as, leerwerk, is gelykbaar x minus 1 gelyk aan 0, so x is gelyk aan 1. Dis dan ook die x-waarde van my draaipunt. Goed. So wanneer ek nou op my eie my x-as gaan bietjie bestudeer wat gebeur met die funksie, we know that this function moved 1 unit to the right and 2 units upwards. So and it's a smiley face, so 1 unit to the right and 2 units upwards. The turning point is here at the point 1, 2 over there. It's a smiley face and that means this parabola is not going to cut the x-axis. Kan julle sien, hy gaan nie die x afsny nie, want hy is 'n smiley face, hy gaan boontoe. So I'm not going to work out the x-intercept. Intercepts, I know my learning work, and I'm going to waste my time. So I'm going to only work out the y-intercept, and I know my symmetrical axis x equals 1, so I'm going to give a coördinate just on the other side because the parabola is symmetrical. So kom ons werk uit ons y-afsnit deur vir x 0 te doen. Ons gaan sê 0 minus 1 kwadraat plus 2, dit gee vir my 1 plus 2 en dit is gelyk aan 3. So van my y-intercept. So from 0 up to 1 unit. So from 1 unit is going to give me 2 and the y value is going to stay the same. Want a parabol is symmetric. So where I've drawn my parabola is very easy because I know my learning work. Next question. Write down the range. Skryf die waardeversameling neer. Kom ons gaan kyk. Dis 'n smiley face. So ons begin hier onder by my y-waardes, element van by my y-waarde van my draaipunt en ons weet dis die punt 1, 2. So it starts from 2 and it goes up to infinity. Round bracket. Baie maklik parabola. Graad 11, ek sien dan julle net vir die volgende les waar ons die vergelykings nou van 'n parabool wat al reeds geteken is, gaan bepaal. I'm going to see you just now to determine the equation of a parabola that's already been sketched. See you.